I quit my job and bought a $4,000 boat together with my girlfriend. And we have no sailing experience, so this is probably incredibly stupid, but I think it also could be very, very fun. Okay, so the story of, I guess, how we ended up here, how we bought a boat, it's a pretty long one. There's a lot of different steps that kind of led us to this place. Guess I could even start, just going back. I've always loved traveling. Like when I was 15, I spent a year as an exchange student in Colombia. And ever since then, I've just been saving money, traveling, saving money, traveling. Then I met Sally. We traveled together as much as we could. But then in 2019, Sally was unfortunately diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, and that's really terrible, and like that's its own whole thing. She's doing very good, but like there's no cure for MS, so it's just her life now basically. But that whole experience with her going through all of that just really got us thinking a lot about, I guess, what we wanted to do with our lives, how we wanted to live, how we wanted to work, what we wanted to do with our free time, just everything. And we pretty quickly realized that we were both like on a wrong path. Sally had just finished studying to become a nursery kindergarten teacher, and like started working full time. And I mean, she hated it. She was stressed out all the time. It was awful. The pay was awful. Parents were awful. Most of the kids were fun, she said, though. But now with her illness, she couldn't keep the full time job. At least not in this traditional way of thinking about it. And I was studying like finance, business. Young guy wanted to make a lot of money. But yeah, so we figured, no, this is not gonna work. So we started working for ourselves, started our own small businesses. I started doing photography and videography, and Sally was doing like online marketing, working with small businesses, so often we could also kind of work together. And I mean, then we were doing this like besides our, well, I was studying my master's at this point, and Sally was working full time. And then we were doing all of this on the side, and she had the MS, and it was just like, okay, now it's time, we need to stop something. So at that point, we both quit everything. We went like all in on our own businesses, but we didn't make enough money to keep living here in Denmark. So we started traveling, and we mainly travel like in Southeast Asia. One, because we love the tropical countries, no doubt about that. And two, it was just very affordable, and we were now able to live off of our businesses, basically. So we did that for a few years, but like jumping from hotel to hotel also gets tiring at some point, even though you are in like exotic countries and at the very nice beaches. But we knew we also wanted to have a kid at some point. So we went back to Denmark, we bought a house, we had a baby, and we were still kind of working for ourselves, but I got a kind of a sweet real estate photography gig. So I was still freelancing, but it was like a full-time gig, or even more than a full-time. I was working all the time. Then we had the baby captain, and of course that got us thinking even more about life, what we wanted to do. And after he got here, we kind of realized that we got back into the loop that we almost were trying to escape just some years ago. And I was working like 10, 12 hours every day when, I basically just wanted to be with Sally and the baby captain. So like I 100% like burned out completely. And then I just quit right then and there with no plan, nothing. And it was just a few weeks later that we bought this sailboat. Now, it's something that I've wanted to do for many years, but I think perhaps that whole experience of just burning out and needing a change again perhaps propelled it a little bit and being like, okay, we're gonna buy a boat now. So I just want to take you back to that, because we bought this boat, but it was in a different city, pretty far away from where we live. So we had to sail it home. But I mean, we have absolutely no sailing experience. Luckily, our very good friend Lasse, the only person that we know who can sail, last minute like agreed to just come help me sail the boat home. Here he is, the legend himself.
The one and only.
Can you introduce yourself?
Some kind of sailor sometimes, Lasse Hammer. Back in the day we met in Bali in a gym. But yes, they shanghaied me to do a little sailing trip, because they were clever enough to buy a sailboat, even though they never sailed before.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a brilliant idea, because that's exactly how I learned, and it's the best way to go about things. Just fucking do it and figure out what works and what doesn't. And it's little Denmark here, so we'll be safe in the coastal waters. So we're gonna have a bit of, not a storm coming in, but we'll have some decent weather, 22 knots. But it's gonna be kind of coming from the back, so we'll hopefully just sail away to the sunset, and it'll be beautiful sailing. I think we'll get some decent speed, good knots, and the waves are coming kind of from behind, so Adam might get a little seasick, but we'll see if it doesn't work out. When you want to pull out the jib, generally you want to be against the wind, but since we're sailing with the wind, we have a bit of speed, we should be able to pull it out fairly slow without giving it a bit of a tear. Then we go to the other side. The wind always decides. You got no say here. There we go.
Woohoo!
Not too shabby, huh?
Heavy, man.
Happy days, happy guys.
Nice. We're sailing.
We're sailing.
Nice. This feels right. Now we're sailing. I like it. I think it's going pretty well. We're doing about what,
Five knots? 50 knots?
5 or 6 knots, and it's pretty smooth, and we are just about to head out of the channel here, so I think we're gonna turn off the engine now completely, because there are no more obstacles, so
And that's the beauty of sailing.
let's do it.
Always in sets, so usually 3 or 4 at a time. Gives it a bit of roll, which can be hard downwind, but so far it looks pretty good.
And I mean, what a trip. What a legendary friend in Lasse. And he and his girlfriend actually have their own boat. And so we are trying to convince them to buddy boat with us next year when we hopefully will sail down to the Mediterranean. But like on that trip, the first day I got crazy seasick. I mean, the weather was pretty rough and we were bouncing all around. I don't think I said it in a video I made about that trip, but I think I threw up like 9 or 10 times that day. But still, I was just in such good spirits, like I was enjoying it so much that the seasickness just couldn't stop me. But after that, I was actually kind of worried about how seasickness would like impact me. I mean, if we just bought a boat and I would get seasick all the time, I mean, that would not be pretty great. So I started just taking like the seasickness pills when we would go out. I wouldn't get seasick. And then now the last few times we went out, I haven't done anything and I just haven't been seasick at all. So now I'm a lot more comfortable with it and don't think it's gonna be a big problem. And when it does become a problem, you know, we can probably handle it.
Day 2 coming to an end, which means that the journey is coming to an end. 2, let's just call us sun-kissed guys, arrive in Stee in just about 30-40 minutes. It's been a bit of channel sailing the last couple of hours, but it's been beautiful, so it's really nice. This is blowing off. I'll just get more tan.
But okay, so we bought a $4,000 boat in Denmark. You know, that's cheap for a boat, let's be honest. Especially because it's a nice working boat, like the engine, the sails, everything that needs to work works. It even has like bow thrusters and wheel steering. So for this price, like it's a nice boat. Of course, there are a lot of problems with it that we need to fix at some point. But let's just have a very quick tour of the boat so you can kind of see what $4,000 will get you. But one of the first things that you'll notice with this boat is that the deck is in pretty bad condition. First, it just needs a very, very deep clean, and then it really needs a good sanding down and painting. One of the other reasons for, I guess, this price point is just besides the deck, of course, other cosmetic stuff. Like, for example, here in the cockpit, a lot of the wood around the edges here is just, I mean, it's just finished and will need replacing. It looks to be some kind of plywood or something. So I guess it should be doable for us to try and replace that at some point. And then a lot of the teak out here is just looking tired and some of it's broken a little bit. So that could use some love as well. But I mean, it's nothing critical or anything. It's just very cosmetic.
So our little baby captain is awake. So he'll be joining us on this tour. So let's head on inside. Here we have the galley. which definitely needs like a little upgrade, a little cleanup. I would definitely do this a little different, so we need to freshen that up a bit. But we have a cool little gimbal stove, some storage here. We definitely need to upgrade this, and we definitely need a new sink as well. And here we have the navigation area. Not really a lot to say about that. It's kind of messy right now. And the squeaky floors. And our salon / living room area. So we actually have a table that we can put here, but we don't really use that. We want the table outside. So we just have like this like couch area. Moving on. So here we have this back end area of the boat, and here we have a little bit of storage. We have some life vests and yeah, some random stuff, and a little storage up here as well. And we can close off for a bit of privacy if you want. And our bathroom, or the head, which definitely needs an upgrade as well. And this right here is the wee berth. It looks really small, but there's actually a lot of space in here. All three of us fit in here very well. And it's actually quite cozy. So as long as you only sleep in here. Otherwise, it's kind of claustrophobic.
And generally, I think here in like the Scandinavian countries, really around this price point, you can just find a lot of nice old boats. And if you have a little bit more money, you can get even nicer boats. But like, it's a great first boat for us. You know, we can hopefully learn a lot without spending our life savings on it. Like, we don't live on the boat. We have last year we bought a house. It's like only a few minutes away from the marina, which is just awesome. We're also renovating the house. So, I mean, we are just really stupid. We bought a house to renovate. We had a baby and we have now a boat to renovate. I mean, there's just not enough time. But we're having a great time. Anyway, we went out sailing in this boat ourselves for the very first time, which was kind of scary. I mean, just leaving the marina and getting back into the marina, just insane when we have never done it before.
So, Sally, first time on the water. What does it feel like? I mean, we're on the motor, but still, it's your first time out on the boat?
It's fun. I think it's a good day to do it. A lot of stuff, sunshine and no waves really. So it's really nice.
Now we're gonna have to try and attempt to attach ourselves to a mooring ball. Another new thing we haven't tried. So we're just gonna take it very nice and easy. Right now we are in neutral, just slowly drifting towards it.
5. No, it's okay.
Slow down.
No. Well,
We
maybe.
good?
Yeah, slow down a little bit. Yeah.
Hit. Quick reverse. I think she got it. You got it?
I think so. Yeah, I did.
All right, just hold it. I'll be there.
I don't think I'm holding it right.
No, it's fine.
It is?
I mean, if you got it, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh, she got it.
Pro.
Good job, Sally.
Thank you.
How did that
Very
feel?
proud.
Nice. I'm just gonna chill. I think we're gonna have some breakfast, brunch in a little bit, and then we're probably going swimming. And the little baby captain, he did very well last night. He slept, I think, like 7 hours straight, which is a lot. I think the little motions of the boat really helps him sleep, so that's kind of nice.
Well, I don't mind to slow down anymore. I don't mind the sound of my shoes on your floor. I don't mind selling out or playing cover song. as long as friends and family sing along.
Classic Danish breakfast, kinda. Nutella and jam. And soon a swim because it's getting really, really hot.
It's getting really hot. Now there is absolutely no wind. The water is not the nicest here, but I think a swim will still be very much needed. You ready?
Yeah, so this water is really green and really cold because we're in Denmark. Everything's cold. So it's not really my favorite, but it's really, really hot, so I kind of have to. Ooh. Ooh.
Is it cold?
Yeah. It just hit me, yeah. It's really cold. Right there too. Ew.
He's tiny.
This is gonna be a really fast
Dip.
dip.
Cool down dip.
I do not feel comfortable.
Good job. Nice. You did it. And I actually started doing like my sailing license, because here in Denmark you don't actually need to have a license to go sailing. Like, we have a very long and strong maritime history, and so there's like a big, I don't know, nautical freedom, I guess. So you don't need to have a license to go sailing. You can just do whatever you want. It's still probably a very good idea. I mean, there are still rules that you need to follow when you're out on the water, and so you should probably know them. So I started doing that and learned a lot. But like, actually sailing is only, you know, one part of owning a sailboat, as we would learn. And like, we know we want to refit, do a bigger refit on the boat here during the winter. But again, we know absolutely nothing about renovating a boat. So here's just the, I guess, front access to the engine. I can also, out in the cockpit, remove the floor and get like a full topside access. So I'll probably have to do that as well, so we can have a look at everything, because I have no idea what I'm looking at here. Okay, so I've just kind of looked, I guess, everywhere on the engine, trying to locate where the impeller would be located. And I think my best guess is that it's right here. Like, when looking online, I can't really find any drawings or any good pictures or anything. Might as well have a look at the belt while I am here. It looks pretty good, I think. Not too old, and it's pretty tight. Again, I don't know exactly how tight it should be, but it seems alright, and it looks pretty good. So I think I'm just gonna try and have a look behind this guy and see if we're in the right place. Now, I should probably shut the seacocks before I start messing with any of this, but there are two of them like up there. I'm not actually quite sure which one is the water inlet. I'm gonna try and see if I can follow some of the pipes and get the correct one, and if not, I'm just gonna shut off both of them while I have a look at this. Alright, so I think this is as ready as I'll ever be. Got a lot of frags ready if water gets everywhere, but yeah, let's just go for it. Okay, what? These guys are really stuck. Am I doing something wrong here? Okay, so at this point, I'm sure that a lot of you are having a pretty good time. I am now quite confident that that is not where the impeller is located. I was following like I guess some text guides, because there's no pictures I could find anywhere, and that place seems like what they were referring to. But since I couldn't move anything at all, I kind of have second thoughts. Now I had a further look around the engine, and I think I found where the impeller actually is located. The problem is I have actually no effing clue how I'm gonna like get in there. Like, let me show you. I think it is way back down under here. Yeah, I think I'm touching it. But I think I need to call defeat. I'm not gonna replace the impeller today, which is very sad because that was the whole point of this video. But at least this is also why I wanted to try and do these things now, so that this don't happen like some point when we're out on the water. But yeah, that is pretty sad. But then later I tried it again. I got the proper tools, and you know, I just had a little bit more experience, and then I made it. Okay, so this is at least, I guess, the best access to the impeller that we have had yet. So that looks pretty good. And there's the last one. So I got it off and, well, now we have water coming out. Not really stopping. Oh wait, I can see it leaking from there. And I turned this valve because that, I guess, stops the water from going there, and from there it goes to the impeller. So that works. But yeah, time to pop the new one back in. Pretty happy with this repair, I don't know, maintenance. And then with the engine ready, we go sailing again. This time planning a bigger trip, only to have to turn around because of, you guessed it, engine problems.
So now we're gonna cruise for a little bit, see how it goes. Sailing through another little narrow channel here. We have a few little islands here on either side of us, so it looks like they're pretty far apart, but there are some, I guess, just big sandbanks. So you do hear about quite a few groundings around in this area, and we don't want that to happen. So we are gonna be a little bit careful, just take it easy, follow the channel pretty straight.
Now we're approaching this cute little island. It's called Nyå, and it's a really cool place because you actually don't have cars there. Well, the residents do, but they're the only ones allowed. And it's also a bird sanctuary, so if you're into those kind of things, that's a great place to be.
Right, so I actually just turned the engine off. We've been motor sailing for a little while here because we went through this narrow channel, and just to get us some, I guess, some extra speed. But we are now going with just the mainsail, 4 or 5 knots, so that's pretty good. But the reason I turned off the engine was that I saw some white smoke coming out of the of the exhaust, and I don't think that's supposed to happen.
So we're about to leave the last channel and heading towards open water, and we haven't checked our motor yet, which we will. Right now we're just sailing the mainsail, going around 2 to 4 knots. You can really like feel it on the boat that there's a lot more waves now. Because we're heading towards the open waters. So, I mean, for me, it's a little bit scary because I haven't really tried this before, but it's gonna be okay. And we'll have to check.
It's your first time like sailing with just sails?
Yeah, it is.
What does it feel like?
It's really fun. I really like it. I think it's really cool. It's the first time that I am. Well, yeah, I've seen the sail up, and it's kind of cool. And it's kind of fun with the bigger waves. It's a bit stressful because I have to always check on our little baby, and we'll also have to check the engine whenever possible to see what's wrong. Maybe if we have to deal with it somehow, but let's hope it's nothing serious.
All right, I think we are ready. That looks pretty good. Okay, yeah, we are tagging or jibing or whatever. Come on. Let this guy go. Ah, he got stuck. All right, there we go. Nice. There we go. we played around with the sails for a little bit, both of them. It went pretty good. We got some good speed, just going kind of up and down. Yeah, so now we just pulled the jib back in. We're now up against the wind, and now we're gonna try to start the engine and see if it works, how it looks, all of that.
But we do manage to fix the issue out on the water, which was like a really nice experience, because even though it was probably a very basic minor issue, it kind of showed us that, you know, at least to some degree, we are able to problem solve and troubleshoot even if we are in like a little bit of a stressful situation. And yeah, so we've just been out exploring the waters around us and even exploring some of the little cute islands around the area here.
We are on our way to one of the strangest little islands here in Denmark. Actually, only about 30 people live there, and there are apparently no cars, except for the people who live there can use them, but otherwise, no. So that's gonna be an experience.
Holy shit! All right, both sails are up again, but will we get any more speed from this? That is the real question. Alright, so we've basically been just motoring, well, practically the whole way. I mean, I think the wind changed a little bit since I checked the weather forecast this morning. So almost the whole way we've just been sailing dead upwind. I mean, as we're going through those narrow channels, we don't really have a choice but to just motor. It's not fast, but we are moving. Maybe 2 knots. Again, around this time, you know, the avionics on the iPhone just starts struggling. Then it says 0, then it says 3, then it says 1. It's just, yeah.
All right, we made it to the island of Nyår. Now the entry and well, the docking was pretty uneventful again. It is a very tiny marina, but pretty cute. And I mean, there's loads of tourists here, so yeah, some people to help out at the dock. But now it seems like perfect timing. The baby is waking up, so we're gonna get ready and then we're gonna explore this weird little island.
Strolling, far from home, and horizon looking like a sunset dream. And I talking, water crashing.
The island of Nyår is small, just 5 square kilometers and home to about 30 to 40 people. Besides that though, there are quite a few vacation homes. Nyår is a car-free village. Only the inhabitants are allowed to drive their car on the island. But this gives Nyår a very chill and very much a laid-back island vibe. The houses are beautiful and there are some nice cafes and local shops.
Now we haven't talked that much about the baby captain yet. He's 5 months old now, and of course sailing with him just makes it more complicated because I mean when he's awake, one person has to be, you know, on him at all times. And like even though we take, you know, all the safety measures like really seriously, especially with him, it can still be very scary sometimes.
Basically out of nowhere the wind just picked up a lot and we got both sails up and I mean we're just flying. I still have the engine on in neutral just because it is a little bit almost scary, because we're heeling so much sometimes when there's like a gust of wind. We haven't really tried that before. We are still going through some channels here, so kissing the water here. We're doing 6 knots. I think that's about as fast as this boat can go. Pillows are flying around inside. Well, that got a little bit hectic. I mean, that was the fastest we've ever sailed. That was the most we've heeled. Was the most wind we've ever been in. And I mean, it got a little bit rough. Things were getting thrown around. I mean, we haven't really gotten used to storing things 100% securely. And of course, Sally's downstairs with the baby, just making sure he's not falling around. So that brings us to today. It is late August. Winter has finally arrived here in Denmark. It's raining, it's windy, it's like 12 degrees outside, but it feels like colder because of the wind and the rain. So yeah, we are happy we at least made it out sailing a few times when the weather was amazing. But from here, the plan is to just keep sailing. We haul out in the end of October, and then we start doing pretty big refit, getting the boat ready for next spring, where, as I mentioned, we want to sail down the canals of Europe to the Mediterranean. Okay, but if I don't have a job, like how do we even make money, and how do we pay for our house and the boat and all the maintenance that we want to do? First up, when you have a baby in Denmark, we can get maternity, paternity leave, so we are kind of using some of that here and there, and we get a little bit of money from the government, basically. And then when I'm not on paternity leave, then I'll do just freelance work here and there, some photography, videography work, not making a lot of money, but it's a whole other story. When we bought our house, we are like in the countryside of Denmark, so we bought a really cheap house. The prices here are just... But we got a pretty good house that we need to renovate a lot, but cheaply, so we bought it cash, which means that we have very, very low fixed expenses, basically. So we can live cheaply, and if we then try to also not shop a lot and, buy cheaper foods and, just live as cheaply as we can. So we don't actually need a lot of money to survive here. And I mean, of course, we also make these YouTube videos now, and we do make a little bit of money from that. It's nothing crazy at all, but I would be lying if I said that we didn't want that. Like, my job is to make videos, and if I can choose between making like a video in like a corporate event or make videos sailing, the choice is pretty obvious to me. But this is a lot harder. So there you have it. I mean, I quit my job and bought a sailboat, and now the plan is to work towards, I guess, just spending all of our time on a sailboat, getting this boat nice so we can go sailing full time, basically. And really, it's just all in the search of freedom. That is what we have learned is important for us. So, of course, we need enough money to be able to live and provide for our baby, but we also want to live. Thank you for tuning in, and yeah, subscribe if you want to follow this absolutely stupid adventure of our little family quitting our jobs to go sailing with no experience.